The king of reverse charging gaming phones, the OnePlus Turbo6 Teardown is here. Humanity has finally invented a power bank you can actually play games on. DJ I drone out of juice, give it a charge. Electric fan's dead, charge that too. Wait, even, hey, Gua, can I borrow your Turbo6 for a quick charge? Sure thing. What is out of power? My Tesla's dead, it is an emergency. On the first day of the OnePlus Turbo6 launch, before the store even opened, I rushed in and dropped 2,399 RMB on a 16GB plus 256GB model to do a teardown for you guys. Done. The starting price of this machine is actually 2,099 RMB, which is 500 RMB cheaper than the 2,599 RMB of the recently popular Honor Win RT. Between these two, one has a 9,000 mAh battery and the other is 10,000 mAh. Both feature ultra-high refresh rate screens, one at 165 Hz, the other at 185 Hz. If it were you, would you pay the extra 500 for the RT? First, let's take a look at the design. The Turbo6 back cover features a relief effect. That looks exactly like the shape of a VC liquid cooling chamber. Does it really have such a massive cooling system inside? We'll find out. Anyway, moving past the pattern, the overall look reminds me a lot of the previous OnePlus 13T. Now, let's power it on. First, let's show off its standout feature, reverse charging. It reaches a charging power of 27W, which is faster than those shared power banks you find on the street. Crucially, this 27W is just enough to trigger full-speed fast charging for iPhones. I have to say, OnePlus still loves being the ultimate iPhone companion. Let's compare the screen brightness with the Honor Win RT. Which one looks clearer and more vibrant to you? Now, let's compare the chin's bottom bezels on both devices. They seem to be roughly the same size. The overall dimensions and thickness are also very similar to the Win RT. In terms of weight, the Win RT is about 8 grams heavier. That extra weight is likely due to the cooling fan inside the Win RT. I also looked into the ultra-high refresh rate. For standard apps, the custom refresh rate on both phones is capped at 120 Hz. Only specific games can reach 165 Hz or 185 Hz, depending on the in-game settings. Then again, if you kept 165 Hz or 185 Hz on all the time, even a 10,000 mAh battery would be able to keep up. Alright, that is it for the external comparison. But what about the internal build quality of this new OnePlus series? Let's get right into the teardown. After heating it up, I'll use an opening pick to slice through the back cover adhesive. Now that the back cover is off, you can see how flexible it is. Let's flip it over and check the inside to see if there is any woven texture. It turns out there isn't. So, it is likely a plastic composite back rather than fiberglass. I reached out to official customer service to verify, and they said it is a translucent, drop-resistant composite material. The benefit is that it is lightweight and very durable. Now, let's take a look at the internal craftsmanship. On a scale of 1 to 91, how would you rate this? As I always say, you never have to worry about the build quality of Apple OnePlus ecosystem phones. The IP69 rated adhesive on the frame is incredibly sticky. Even my electric adhesive remover is struggling to pull it up. I have to say, the process of rolling up the adhesive is really satisfying. Now, let's remove the motherboard shield. Right here in the top right corner is the NFC coil. On the left, we have a single-tone flash and an IR blaster. Flipping it over, at the locations corresponding to the ribbon cable connectors, compression foam padding has been applied. Wow, the attention to detail is impressive. Also, on the top left corner of the motherboard cover, there is a semi-enclosed speaker chamber. At the junction where the speaker meets the lower chamber, buffer foam is used to prevent resonance. On the motherboard's ribbon cable connectors, both power cables are protected with rubber gaskets. Furthermore, the connectors adjacent to the power port are covered with insulating tape to prevent short circuits or electrical damage to the motherboard. Now, let's remove the camera modules. There are 3 cameras in total across the front and back. First, the front-facing camera features a 16MP IMX480 sensor. The main camera is a 50-megapixel, 1/1.95-inch lit 600 sensor, equipped with OIS, and this small one is a 2MP monochrome camera. It's been ages since we've seen a dedicated monochrome camera like this. The last time I recall seeing one was probably on the Huawei P9. Its purpose is to enhance object contours and add depth to light and shadow details. Frankly, camera performance isn't a priority for gamers. In fact, if the camera module were too big, gamers would complain about it hindering heat dissipation. For those who truly care about mobile photography, I'd bet they would spend their 2,000 yuan on the Turbo6's big brother, the Oppo Find X7 Ultra. The second-hand price for an X7 Ultra on Zhuanzhuan is also around 2,000 yuan now. That is nearly 3,000 yuan cheaper than a brand new unit. The Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 still offers solid performance, and its camera system is still on par with this year's top-tier flagships. Okay, next, let's remove the motherboard of the OnePlus Turbo6. We can see the SoC here. The corresponding area lacks any mid-frame cutouts for direct contact with the VC liquid cooling. However, this motherboard still features the single-layer motherboard design that gamers love. The core performance trio of the Turbo6 starts with the Snapdragon 8S Gen 4, along with UFS 4.1 and LPDDR5X. Many of you might not be sure how the Snapdragon 8S Gen 4 performs. Its performance is quite close to the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3. While the 8 Gen 3 offers higher peak performance, the 8S Gen 4 is more power efficient for daily tasks. Both have their own unique advantages. What is really great is that this phone also features a G1 signal enhancement chip and a Ling Z touch chip. These are quite beneficial for gaming. Plus, this phone also supports Wi-Fi 7. I have to say, the gaming specs are solid. Now, let's remove the top speaker, taking a look at it. It is an AAC technology, 1012 speaker. Let me guess, the bottom speaker should be the 1115. Haha, I checked, and it is indeed an 1115. We can see that the bottom speaker also uses a semi-cavity design, just like the top one. In terms of the sound unit specifications, it is identical to the OnePlus Ace 6 and 6T. Let's compare the audio quality directly with the Honor Win RT. The RT features a dual 1216 setup, which is quite rare in the market these days. I have no regrets waiting for next year to meet like old friends. Guilty but unintentional, yet still among my people. Okay, after hearing that, which one do you think sounds better? Now, let's move on to dismantling the subboard and charging port. As for the unlocking method, the OnePlus Turbo6 uses a short focus optical fingerprint sensor. Checking the motor, it's the O809 model from AAC Technologies, which is a standard 3.5mm thick version. The charging port's transfer speed is USB 2.0. It is quite normal for this price range, not to feature USB 3.1. Alright, let's remove the battery. The battery features a single cell, dual interface design, allowing for faster charging and a longer lifespan. Official promos claim this battery can last through 2.5 year cycles. Many of you might worry that with its 80W charging, it might take too long to charge a 9000 mAh battery. I did a real-world test, and charging from 1 to 91% took 1 hour and 5 minutes. A full charge took 1 hour and 20 minutes. The battery manufacturer is Dongguan NBTC Technology. Phone battery tech has really leveled up this year. Even at this size, the battery pack manages to hit a massive 9000 mAh. I've measured the dimensions for you. As many of you might want to use this battery pack for DIY upgrades later, it is 97mm long, 67mm wide, and 6.1mm thick. For comparison, the Honor Win RT's battery pack is 99mm x 69mm x 6.1mm. In terms of size, they are actually very similar. Okay, here's the family photo of the OnePlus Turbo6's internals. Now, let's reassemble the phone. After this teardown, the Turbo6 is clearly a beast for gaming at its price point. It really delivers a comfortable gaming experience. With the ultra-high refresh rate, huge battery and single-layer motherboard, it is a truly excellent gaming device. As I mentioned, if you're looking for camera performance at this price, you might want to consider a second-hand flagship with a Snapdragon 8 Gen 3. If you're looking to buy used phones on Juan, every unit undergoes multiple rounds of official quality inspections, so the build quality is well guaranteed. So, finally, between the 2000 yuan OnePlus Turbo 6 and the 2500 yuan Win RT, which one would you pick?